everybody, this is Matthew Movies coming at you with my review of The Final Girls, the 2015 slasher horror comedy that I think deserves a great deal larger following than it has. It's underrated, underseen, absolutely fantastic in my view. Just, I mean, if you are a fan of the slasher genre and the horror genre, and you've seen movies like the Friday the 13th series or Wrong Turn or any of those, that style of film, and you have not seen this and you have a sense of humor, I think you are absolutely missing out. It feels like the people behind it are big fans of the genre. It feels like a love letter to horror fans from horror fans, and just absolutely works, plays on all the tropes, and it is just absolutely hilarious, and also very, very fun time. And there are moments there where it is actually surprisingly touching, and there's some gore in it as well. I mean, it has a whole lot wrapped up in it, and to me, it's an absolutely successful film, and it is a shame that more people have not seen it. For those of you who have never heard of it and don't know what it's about, essentially, it follows a group of people that go to a movie, and right off the hop, you get introduced to this mother and daughter, and the mother is a actress, and she's going on an audition, and when she comes out, she's bemoaning the fact that she did this horror movie back in the day, and that she's been typecast from it, and then unfortunately she is killed. And it flashes forward 3 years, and that daughter is still struggling with the fact that her mother is gone. She's moved on as much as anybody can, but she still misses her, understandably. And it is Halloween, and they're screening the movie for the public because it has a huge following, and she decides that she's gonna go see it so she can spend some time with her mother on screen. And even though obviously it's not her mom, but she's seeing her, and she decides to go check it out, and she brings along a friend of hers who is an absolute horror nut and knows all the rules. And it kind of reminds me of Jamie Kennedy's character in the Scream series, where he's like, oh, this is what happens in a horror movie, and kind of explains the genre to all the people in the audience and the people in the movie. And a couple other people end up coming along, a guy that she's interested in, and a friend of hers, and the guy who she's interested in is dating a girl who used to be her best friend, and so they're all there, and they all go see this movie, and then a fire breaks out, and they need to escape, and one of them cuts a hole in the screen, and they jump through it, and they actually end up going into the movie. So all of a sudden they're put back in this horror classic and they're kind of wrapped up in it, and they're having a great old time, especially the guy who is a horror nut. He's like, oh man, this is hilarious, and they're playing on all the kind of the tropes. You get introduced to all these camp counselors that are at this cabin, and one of them is played by the mother of the main character. So throughout the early stages of this movie, you see this daughter who gets to spend time with the character that is played by her mom, and how touched she is to be around her. And throughout the rest of the movie, the kind of relationship that gets built up between this mother and daughter, or this girl and this character, I thought was one of the most effective parts of this movie, and you really come to care about what's going to happen to both of them, and you also dread the fact that you feel like at some point she's going to have to escape and leave her mother behind again, and that kind of loss again is going to be so hard on her. It's one of the more effective parts of the story, but at the end of the day, it's much more about the comedy, and there's lots and lots of hilarious moments for horror fans. I mean, Thomas Middleditch is the guy who plays the horror genre guy, and the way in which he explains the tropes, and really his glee at seeing what this play out in front of him is hilarious, and the way in which it kind of sends up the genre and plays against your expectations as the movie goes on. Like, for instance, this is in the trailer, so it's not really a spoiler, but it is a spoiler, so if you want to avoid it, you can track forward a little bit. But there is a moment where they get introduced to the final girl in the movie, where it's this because, like I said, it is a classic movie, so they know that she's the one who's going to live to the end, so they're like, oh, let's just stay by her, and then we'll be able to survive. And then because they're in the movie, they change something, and she gets killed almost immediately. And so they're kind of playing off of our expectations like that in a very intelligent and entertaining way. And there are characters that are from the original movie that are hilarious. I mean, Adam Devine, the guy from the Workaholic show, and he's been in Modern Family as well. He plays this kind of sex crazed guy who wants to get with all the various counselors, and there is also a female counselor who is equally sex crazed, and they find that like in Scream, you find out that if they have sex, that they're going to be killed by the killer, and to see kind of how that all plays out and how they try to convince them to not have sex is hilarious. You have Alia Shawkat and Nina Dobrev, who are two recognizable actors who are in this as well, and Nina Dobrev is the one who plays the ex-friend of the main character, and to see how their relationship kind of plays throughout it, and they become closer again, I thought was very, very well done, and also speaks to the fact that this movie isn't just in it for the laughs. They also, you know, they have a lot of really great character moments as well that work to make this movie so much better, and you have the killer, who's a character by the name of Billy Murphy, and he's very much a play on Jason. I mean, he has the machete and the mask and the whole nine, but it was really, really cool to see him in it, and some of the moments with him, like there's one moment where he's attacking where all of a sudden it's in slow motion, and the other actor, the people who are aware that they're in a horror, they're like, what's going on? It's in slow motion, and the way that all plays out is very, very funny. And they do they play like the classic Friday the 13th music, that all that stuff is really, really cool. I mean, to me, I think this movie is fantastic. Like I said before, it's a love letter to horror fans, by horror fans, and it deserves to be seen by so many more people. And to me, it's just an underrated gem. So those are my thoughts on The Final Girls. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. If you're a fan of it, if you haven't heard of it, if you did see it and you didn't like it, why you didn't like it, if you didn't like it, if you're a horror fan. Other than that, though, you can say whatever you want to say. Besides that, though, please hit the like button, hit that share button. Makes it much more likely that other people will find out this video exists and come and give me their thoughts, which would be awesome, because I love talking to people about movies. Speaking of which, if you are new here or you just haven't done it yet, please hit that notification bell, hit that subscribe button. That way you can find out when I put out a new video and come and join that conversation. Besides all that, though, have yourself a good day.